So my Lakers, they're in quite a little pickle right now. That's what I call it. We were doing pretty good beginning of the season. LeBron was looking like an MVP, still kind of does, and it was AD was playing his little role, and then now AD gets like a little injury,
It
starting to
doesn't
scare
seem
me
like
a
a
little
little
bit.
injury.
Hmm?
It doesn't seem very little.
Well, at first, when he first got it, it
Yeah.
seemed like it was because he played like 2 or 3 days after.
Yeah,
the
that's true.
Achilles. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's not as big as they were making it seem. Because if you put your player, one of your biggest assets at risk, you're assuming that he was good enough to play. At least that's what I think. And then he freaking aggravates it again, and now he's out for a whole month.
And who knows if it's going to be longer.
Mm-hmm. So,
Because I wonder if this is similar to the thing Durant had his last year with Golden State.
mhm.
Remember when they weren't being super clear on what the fuck was wrong with Kevin Durant? They said it was his calf.
Yeah.
But then, like, I remember Simmons was the first guy to say it was like, it seems like it's lower. But they're not talking about it. Maybe he had an Achilles strain and nobody knew it until obviously it was fucking too late and he couldn't do enough damage. I hold doctors in a little bit more esteem than that. I would hope that they would get that shit correct. But this Anthony Davis Achilles strain thing is concerning.
Yeah.
Like,
And
concerning.
not
A
just
guy who has health problems to begin with.
yeah.
Like, he's had trouble finishing a season.
Because so this is my thing with the Lakers. They're if they are at full strength, they're 1,000% contenders.
Sure.
But if AD is out,
Yeah,
and can't play, even if he maybe if he could play in a limited fashion, I would still say they might be contenders because you got LeBron James with limited AD. Like
yeah.
I feel like you still could get,
he'd still be all right. I agree, actually.
and then but if he's just out, there's no way. I like LeBron's good, but the most he's gonna get me to is probably if he's playing like super crazy, he might get me to the Western Conference Finals, maybe. That's like me being super generous, but I cannot see him going to the championship and winning. Like,
So you brought up something to me, or I saw something in our notes
yeah,
that I thought was extremely interesting.
yeah,
About
and I knew I thought you would. That's why I
I
wanted
really
to.
would like you to get into this because I'm fascinated by it.
What I'm thinking is, well, not what I'm thinking. What I want to see how smart LeBron James is. Like, I feel like he's still not going. He's not doing what Kobe did at that point, where because Kobe, he had a decent team that was filled with injuries that year.
And this
And
was 2013.
yep, 2013.
Paint a
So,
picture.
yeah, okay. I'll paint. I got you.
Yeah.
So what I told Russell was, is this, or what I wrote in our note was, is this going to be similar to Kobe's 2013 year, where it was his 17th season. This is LeBron's 18th, but he felt like he wanted to make sure that the Lakers got to the playoffs, so he just went completely like insane.
Dwight Howard injured with his back the whole season. You
Yeah,
know?
and he was playing. But towards the end of that season, I think the last 7 games, he played every single minute of the games.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, but the thing is, the luxury LeBron has is they were the number 1 seed at one point, and then the injury happened. So he has a little bit more to work with. Kobe was fighting for the 8th seed all year long because of these stuff. So, but if it gets to that point where they're trying to fight for position in the playoffs or whatever, I don't think LeBron would do that because he usually is just like, if I get into the tournament, I have a chance. That's all.
Let's do that in his career, like with Cleveland. He's almost gone on autopilot during the regular season.
Yeah.
But that's not what this year looks like at all.
Yeah.
Which is either a good thing because he's fired up, or maybe this is going out on a limb, but maybe it's not as easy for him as it used to be because he's a little older. and
wildin'.
and he has to play an ungodly amount of minutes. This is what I thought of with 2013. Because when Kobe, the reason why Kobe put that team on his back is, again, like you said, to make the playoffs. But he did it because no one else on the team could step up and do it. And LeBron is in that exact same position where he needs, he's not getting much help at all. He's got Kuzma giving him a couple offensive rebounds. There's no Schroeder, right? Trez is doing okay. He's every other night you're gonna get something from Trez.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. It's a very tough. There's no way they're contenders without Anthony Davis, and I hope you're wrong in the sense that I really hope that LeBron doesn't wear himself ragged to the point where he does collect an injury at the end of the year.
Yeah,
that fucks this up.
Yeah,
because I see that. I could totally see. As soon as I read it, I could where you wrote it out. I saw it. I was like, oh my god, he's been playing an ungodly.
And I don't. Obviously, I never wanna freaking wish bad on someone like injured. But it's just looking at like the situation he's in. It's like it's so similar to what happened with Kobe.
Yeah.
And when you see someone who's that old, like I mean,
36 is still young, but still.
With 18 years in the NBA, like that's something you worry about. Like
think about how many minutes. It's over 50,000 minutes.
And the whole thing is, none of these great players leave because they played bad. Like they don't stop playing because they're too bad. Injury always takes them out.
A lot of the time, yeah. There's a couple of exceptions with that, but a lot of the time, yeah. Injury, some kind of injury makes them go from here to there.
Yeah, exactly.
I definitely agree. So my question is, do you think Anthony Davis comes back this season?
Yes. If I was them though, I'd wait literally up to the playoffs almost start. Like I don't care where I get seated. I would be like, whatever, we're 4th, 5th seed. We got AD now. We're fine. Like, because I think the issue with Kevin Durant is it happened in the second round of the playoffs against Houston, and then once the Warriors beat Houston and then they swept Portland, he had probably like a month, not even a month. He probably had like 3 weeks before they needed him to play again.
Yeah,
we're giving you like 2 months, like. You have it's like a way better situation to go, and he can rehab or do whatever the hell he needs to do to make sure that he's good. But
yeah, that's a situation.
I would not force it.
With the last 5 years and the Achilles is just like the amount of Achilles that have blown in basketball players.
Do you think
and football players?
Do you think the pace of the game is starting to?
Well, I don't know, because it's the same thing in football. That injury specifically is like crept up on more and more guys, from the Kevin Durant's to the Richard Shermans.
Yeah. That is just a freak injury though. Like it's like it just goes when it wants to. Like there's nothing. It's no physical contact or anything. It's like literally you just step one day and it pops.
And that's the point that we're not necessarily waiting for with LeBron. But again, like you said. Can't really see it ending another way.
You can't put that much strain on your body. Like I wish if I was younger. I mean, if I was old, if I was older when Kobe was doing that, I would have been way more nervous. I never even thought about it because you don't think about injury when you're younger. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like I'm not even worried about him getting injured because even if he gets injured, he always could play through it. But you never think about a season-ending injury,
especially that guy who's played through broken fingers and all kinds.
That's what I'm saying. Like I literally, when I used to play basketball, if I got hurt ever, I always played through it because like I would sprain my ankles and play through it. And the reason is because I would think Kobe would play through it. I'm doing it. So like, that's how I would.
He tried to play through the Achilles.
Yeah, I know.
He shot the free throws for a reason, and it was so he could come back.
Yeah, exactly. Like that was the thing. That's why he's my GOAT. Yeah. Like, come on. you hear shit like that, and it's just like, are you fucking crazy? Like
Do you
his
think
Achilles rolled up to his leg, and he was just like, nah, like they could just tape this thing back, and I could come back in the game. Like,
can LeBron get out of the first round with the team currently constructed? No Anthony Davis.
oh yeah,
You think so?
100%.
If
He would have to be like,
if it's the 4 seed versus the 5 seed, that's going to be hard.
yeah,
I just don't. I don't know how that's going to end up. It all depends, obviously, on the matchups. But like,
yeah, yeah. If it's fourth or fifth,
if they get a Denver or like somebody with a decent big that they don't need AD for,
oh yeah,
ooh, I don't know. I feel bad though because I've kind of taken a liking to this whole Lakers squad with AD and LeBron. I like the Trez thing. I like
hate
Marcus Gasol.
it up. Like, come on, like you want to see you. That's my main thing. Like, even if I was like, let's say I wasn't a Laker fan and I was a hater or something, like still hated LeBron, I would still not want that. Like, I want him to lose. If I want a guy to lose, like I want him to lose with all his guys there.
Yeah,
So you don't have no excuse. It's
yeah,
just like, bro, you lost.
yeah.
You lost, and you suck. Like,
And it'll be just another thing to put on LeBron's legacy breakdown, which will be out next week, FYI. But
yeah,
uh, that he another excuse that he didn't have enough talent,
yeah. And
and
I hate that shit. Like, that's one thing that
it's so difficult.
yeah.
But I think they're, I think they're, I sadly they're pretenders. They've lost what out of the last 10, like 7 of the last 10.
They lost 4 in a row, I think.
Yeah, I knew they lost 5 of the last 6, but I have to.
If AD's not there, they're 100%.
Lakers are 5-5 of the last 10.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so that's super fucking concerning.
Yeah, and the like, if they don't have AD, like they're 100% pretenders because they're not the second seed in the West right now.
No, Washington beat them the other night.
Huh?
Washington beat them the other night
I know.
on a boneheaded LeBron play. And the only reason LeBron made the boneheaded play is because he's fucking exhausted from playing 40 minutes this whole month.
What did he do? What was the play?
So, you see, I might be able to find it in the highlights, but essentially, Westbrook was the inbounder, right? And what happened was he cut and LeBron had his back to him.
Yeah.
And Westbrook was able to get an and one down 2.
Oh wow.
I wonder if I can pull it up. Yeah, so LeBron, so it's 125, 121, right? LeBron, they come down, they hit that. I remember that, right? So they get through this, right? Look, wide open lane to the basket. And then he fouled him because he was trying to foul him to make him go to the line, but he got the shot up and won, game over. That's what it was. It was to make it a 4-point game.
Yeah.
But then they had a shot to finish. But it was just like that. I felt bad for him. But it's just because, like, he's tired. He's fucking doing everything out there. Like,
I mean,
I'm very concerned about the things you were saying with LeBron doing
I
all
think
this
he's
stuff.
too smart.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, I think he's too smart to like. Not saying Kobe was dumb, but Kobe let his like competitive nature,
His ego.
like and his ego get the best of him. And I think LeBron's much more level headed with shit like that. So it's like I feel like he looks at it the bigger picture, and he's like, there's no way that there's no way I'm gonna play 48 minutes just to win a couple regular season games when I'm in the playoffs already. Like,
Yeah, that's always the thing that made me so confused is why he's playing such high minutes now. Because I think
he's not playing super hard all the time. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure. Like, I haven't watched like a ton of Laker games like that.
Yeah.
Well, like
he went hard as fuck against a team like the Pistons, which like concerns me. Like, I mean, I'm happy that he went hard. I'm always happy that a guy like that. But much like you said with Kobe,
yeah,
fucking when you do that, and he has to do it because they can't just lose their way to the playoffs here.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like they got to fucking
gotta win some games.
yeah, they got to put teams away. So it's just another team where LeBron's got to put it on his back.
Nah, I'm
And
not doing
his
that. I'm
fault.
not doing that. It's
His
gonna just
fault.
be like injury. Because not for nothing. In the beginning of the season, we looked at it and it was like the Lakers were the best team in the league.
Yeah, well, his quote when Anthony Davis got hurt, I was going to say this was, "I trained my body for this all year, so I could play 40 minutes a night. So if I got to do it, I got to do it." That's a great attitude to have, and he does spend over $1 million per year on his body, but Father Time is still undefeated. So
I hope that doesn't.
I think they're pretenders if they go like this.
If LeBron, I would be pissed because it's like, don't go out like that, like not like that.
Word. Lindsay, contender or pretender?
For the Lakers,
Yeah.
I have them as contenders only if they're healthy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
very similar.
Yeah.